Have you ever experienced that uneasy feeling that something isn't quite right with someone you know? Maybe you get chills when they enter the room, or you have a nagging doubt that lingers no matter how much you try to dismiss it. In today's video, we'll delve into 15 unmistakable signs that you might be dealing with a bad person. Make sure to watch until the end, as the final sign is the most surprising. These aren't just occasional negative actions. They are consistent behaviors that can reveal a person's true character. Prepare to explore a topic that is not only fascinating, but also crucial for our emotional health and interpersonal relationships. We will highlight these signs with insights from Stoic philosophy, which guides us in recognizing and managing others' negativity in a way that safeguards our inner peace and maintains our integrity. Are you ready to see the world a bit more clearly? If you're new here, please like the video and subscribe. Statistics show that only 5% of my viewers are subscribed to the channel, so if you find this content helpful, I encourage you to subscribe and click the notification bell. Let's embark on this transformative journey together. Sign 1. The constant critic. Enduring constant criticism can be a clear signal that you are dealing with a negative person. This behavior goes beyond providing constructive feedback or fostering personal growth. It is persistent, negative criticism intended to undermine someone's confidence and self-esteem. When someone consistently highlights your mistakes without ever acknowledging your achievements or efforts, it can be a sign of toxicity. Consider, for instance, a co-worker who always finds something wrong with your presentations, even when everyone else is pleased. Or a partner who continually critiques your appearance or decisions, making you feel inadequate or incompetent. Such relentless criticism is often a method of control, making you question your abilities and self-worth, thereby allowing the toxic person to wield more power over you. This behavior is purposefully designed to make you reliant on their approval, creating a damaging cycle that is difficult to escape. Furthermore, constant criticism can serve as a way for the negative person to project their own insecurities. By focusing on others' faults, they might try to deflect attention from their own shortcomings or make their problems appear less significant in comparison. This is especially common in competitive settings, where belittling others might seem like a strategy to stand out. Remember, healthy criticism is balanced and aimed at promoting growth. It is specific, constructive, and typically accompanied by suggestions for improvement. If you frequently find yourself on the receiving end of negative comments that provide no constructive guidance, it is a strong indication that you might be dealing with a malicious individual. Recognizing this pattern is the first step in taking action to safeguard your emotional and mental well-being. Sign 2. Absence of empathy. An absence of empathy is a significant indicator that you might be dealing with a negative person. Empathy, the ability to understand and share another person's feelings, is essential for healthy and constructive human relationships. When someone consistently disregards others' emotions, it can reveal a troubling character. For example, imagine confiding in a friend about a difficult experience, hoping for support and understanding. Instead of offering comfort or solidarity, they quickly change the subject or downplay your feelings, suggesting you are overreacting or that your problem isn't serious. This kind of reaction demonstrates a clear lack of empathy, leaving you feeling isolated and misunderstood. Another way a lack of empathy can manifest is during conflicts or stressful situations. A person who lacks empathy may respond with coldness or even cruelty, ignoring the emotional impact of their words and actions on others. In a work setting, for instance, a boss who never takes employees' personal circumstances into account when making demands or giving criticism is showing a concerning lack of empathy. The inability to recognize and respond to others' emotional needs not only damages personal relationships, but also creates a toxic environment where trust and cooperation are hard to achieve. This can lead to a cycle of negativity and resentment affecting everyone involved. It's important to differentiate between someone who occasionally seems distant or disconnected due to stress or personal issues and someone who consistently lacks empathy. In cases of persistent lack of empathy, it's crucial to consider the long-term effects on your emotional well-being and potentially take steps to protect yourself from harmful influences. Recognizing a lack of empathy in someone you interact with regularly is essential for understanding the dynamics of the relationship and making informed decisions on how to manage these interactions in a way that preserves your emotional health. Sign 3. Habitual lying. One of the most evident signs that you might be dealing with a problematic person is their habit of frequent lying. These lies can vary from minor distortions to outright falsehoods that can cause significant damage. When someone consistently resorts to dishonesty, it not only undermines trust, but also shows a lack of respect for others and the reality of situations. For example, imagine finding out that a colleague has been spreading false information about your contributions to projects. Initially, it might seem like a misunderstanding, but when it happens repeatedly, it becomes evident that there is an intent to manipulate perceptions for their benefit or to harm others. This behavior is a clear indication that the person might not have any scruples about using lies to achieve their goals. Frequent lying can also be prevalent in personal relationships. If a partner often distorts the truth about their whereabouts or who they've been with, it can signal deeper issues related to trust and integrity. This pattern of dishonesty creates an unstable foundation for any relationship, leading to doubts and insecurities that can be emotionally draining. Moreover, lying about seemingly insignificant things can be equally troubling, indicating a habitual tendency to manipulate or an inability to confront the truth even when there is no need for deceit. Such behavior can leave friends and family members constantly on edge, unable to relax and trust what the person says. To handle someone who lies frequently, it is helpful to keep a mental or written record of suspicious incidents. This can help confirm whether there is a pattern of dishonesty. Confronting the person with evidence may be necessary, but it should be done calmly and objectively to avoid escalating the situation. Ultimately, it's crucial to evaluate the impact of these lies on your own life and well-being. In some cases, it might be necessary to reconsider or even end the relationship with someone who continues to be dishonest despite the consequences. Protecting yourself from harmful influences is essential for maintaining mental and emotional health. Recognizing and understanding the impact of frequent lies is vital for making informed decisions on how to deal with individuals who may be causing more harm than good in your life. Sign 4. Covert manipulation. Covert manipulation is a troubling indication that you might be dealing with a harmful person. Manipulators are skilled at using subtle words and actions to influence others without being overtly obvious. This behavior is particularly dangerous because it can be difficult to detect, often leaving victims feeling confused, insecure, or guilty without understanding why. A classic example of covert manipulation can occur in relationships where one person frequently makes the other feel obligated to comply with their wishes, using guilt or shame as leverage. For instance, a partner might say, "After everything I've done for you, you won't do this for me." This pressures you into meeting their demands without considering your feelings or needs. In the workplace, covert manipulation can manifest as a colleague who subtly takes credit for your ideas or consistently puts you in compromising positions. They might do this in such a subtle way that when you attempt to address the issue, it appears as though you are overreacting or misinterpreting the situation. Moreover, covert manipulators excel at altering narratives to suit their interests. They may distort facts or omit key information, making the truth unclear and leaving others unsure about what really happened. This can severely damage trust within relationships and groups, fostering an environment of suspicion and anxiety. To combat covert manipulation, it is essential to develop strong self-awareness and confidence in your perceptions. Keep a mental or written record of incidents that seem manipulative and look for patterns. Discussing your experiences with a trusted friend or counselor can help validate your feelings and guide your actions. Confronting a manipulator can be challenging, but it is important to do so assertively. Clearly set boundaries and communicate directly about what behaviors are unacceptable. This approach can discourage future manipulation and protect your emotional and psychological well-being. Recognizing and understanding covert manipulation is crucial to avoid falling victim to this destructive behavior. By staying vigilant and proactive in your communication and interactions, you can safeguard yourself and promote a healthier, more respectful environment, both personally and professionally. Sign 5. Ongoing disrespect. A clear indication that you might be dealing with a negative person is ongoing disrespect. When someone habitually disregards your opinions, feelings, or needs, it goes beyond rudeness and reveals a deeper character flaw. This disrespect can show up in various ways, such as constantly interrupting you, making derogatory comments about your choices, or dismissing your lifestyle. For instance, imagine being in a meeting where a colleague continually talks over you or dismisses your ideas without proper consideration. Or think about a friend or partner who repeatedly makes jokes at your expense, even after you've expressed your discomfort with this behavior. Such continuous disrespect not only undermines your self-esteem, but also leaves you feeling invisible and devalued. Disrespect can also manifest in the form of ignoring your personal boundaries. If someone regularly crosses limits you've set, such as contacting you at inappropriate times or disregarding your need for personal space, it shows a lack of respect for your autonomy. This invasive behavior invalidates your ability to make decisions about your own life. To address ongoing disrespect, it is crucial to be assertive in your interactions. Clearly communicate what you consider respectful and what is unacceptable. For example, if someone frequently interrupts you, you might need to say, "I would like to finish my thought before receiving your feedback." Establishing and maintaining these boundaries is essential for preserving your self-respect and ensuring others treat you with due consideration. Additionally, it's important to assess whether it's worth maintaining a relationship with someone who consistently shows disrespect. Often, people who do not respect others may not change their behavior even after being confronted. In such cases, it might be necessary to reconsider the relationship and possibly distance yourself to protect your emotional well-being. Recognizing ongoing disrespect is vital for understanding the dynamics of your relationships and making informed decisions on how to handle these situations. By maintaining your dignity and demanding respect, you not only improve your quality of life, but also attract people who value and respect your presence, contributing to healthier and more fulfilling relationships. Sign 6. Isolation from friends and family. A troubling indication that you might be dealing with a harmful person is their deliberate attempt to isolate you from your friends and family. This manipulative behavior aims to sever your connections with those who can provide support and different viewpoints, making you more dependent and easier to control. Isolating someone from their support network is a common tactic in abusive relationships, as it limits the victim's ability to seek help or resist the abuser's control. For instance, a partner might start by criticizing your friends and family, questioning their motives, and gradually suggesting you spend less time with them. They may express jealousy or dissatisfaction when you make plans with others or create situations that make it difficult for you to maintain these relationships. Over time, these actions can make you feel guilty or anxious about wanting to keep connections outside the relationship. In a work environment, a colleague or supervisor who tries to isolate you might withhold important information about meetings or team discussions, making it hard for you to collaborate or contribute effectively. This isolation not only hampers your professional performance, but also affects your standing and relationships within the company. To counteract this type of isolation, it is essential to keep your support networks active and informed about your situation. Regularly communicate with friends and family and be honest about your experiences and feelings. Having trusted people to rely on provides crucial security and perspective. Additionally, it's important to establish and reinforce healthy boundaries with the person attempting to isolate you. Explain that while you value your relationship with them, you also value your other relationships, and maintaining these connections is essential for your well-being. If necessary, seek professional help from a counselor or therapist to discuss ways to approach and resolve these issues healthily. Recognizing and responding to attempts to isolate you from friends and family is vital for maintaining your independence and emotional health. By ensuring robust external connections and proactively confronting attempts at isolation, you can protect yourself from. Sign 7. Outbursts of anger. A concerning sign that you might be dealing with a harmful person is frequent outbursts of anger. These intense episodes of anger, often disproportionate to the situation, create a toxic and unpredictable environment and are used as a means of intimidation and control. Interacting with someone who has explosive anger can be deeply unsettling and destabilizing. For example, imagine you ask a simple question or make a harmless comment, and the person responds with an angry outburst, accusing you of intentions you never had or harshly criticizing you for something trivial. Such reactions are not only frightening, but also make you feel constantly on edge, fearing the next outburst. These anger explosions can occur in any type of relationship, whether between partners, friends, or even colleagues. In a family or romantic relationship, this can manifest as shouting, swearing, or even physical aggression. At work, it might involve someone using their anger to dominate meetings, silence others, or instill fear. To handle outbursts of anger, it is important to remain calm and not react impulsively. Keeping your composure and responding in a balanced manner can help diffuse the situation. If it's safe, discuss the behavior at a calmer time when the person is more receptive. Explain how their outbursts affect you and suggest seeking professional help to manage their anger if appropriate. Additionally, set clear boundaries about acceptable behavior. If the outbursts continue despite your efforts to address the issue peacefully, it might be necessary to reevaluate the relationship. In extreme cases, especially if there are threats to your physical safety, distancing yourself completely may be essential. Recognizing that outbursts of anger are neither normal nor healthy is crucial for your emotional and physical well-being. Having strategies to deal with these episodes and knowing when to seek external support are important steps to protect yourself and maintain a healthy environment. Sign 8. Persistent guilt tripping. A clear sign that you might be dealing with a toxic person is their frequent attempts to make you feel guilty for things that aren't your responsibility. This form of emotional manipulation is used to control and dominate, causing you to doubt your own actions and decisions, often leading you to act against your own well-being to please the other person. For instance, if you choose to spend time alone or with friends and your partner makes you feel selfish or negligent, that's guilt manipulation. Similarly, at work, if a colleague or boss implies that you're not doing enough even when you're fulfilling your duties, this could be a tactic to make you work extra hours out of guilt. These scenarios are particularly harmful as they create a cycle of self-censorship and over-accommodation, where you constantly try to appease the other person at the expense of your own mental health and happiness. This dynamic erodes your confidence in your ability to make decisions. To combat constant guilt tripping, it's vital to recognize when guilt is being used manipulatively. Observe patterns. Does the person frequently make you feel guilty for things beyond your control or for prioritizing your own needs? Start questioning these situations and evaluate if the expectations placed on you are fair. Establish firm boundaries by clearly communicating that while you are open to constructive criticism and willing to meet reasonable needs, you will not accept being unfairly guilt-tripped. Healthy boundaries can protect your self-esteem and deter manipulation attempts. Additionally, seek emotional support by discussing your experiences with friends or a therapist. An external perspective can validate your feelings and strengthen your resolve to resist manipulation. If the guilt tripping continues, despite your efforts to address it, you might need to reconsider the relationship or work environment. Protecting your emotional well-being is crucial, and sometimes this means distancing yourself from toxic relationships or situations that foster feelings of guilt and inadequacy. Recognizing and countering manipulation through guilt is a crucial step in maintaining your mental and emotional health. You've now reached the halfway mark of the video, and I congratulate you for striving to become a better version of yourself. If you enjoyed our video, please like, subscribe, and comment to let YouTube know this content is helpful to people like you. This will enable us to create more similar videos in the future. If you don't know what to comment, simply write "Silence is power" to show that you have engaged with our session. Sign 9, envy of others. A troubling sign that you might be dealing with a toxic person is their persistent envy of others. Envy goes beyond merely wanting what someone else has. It involves a resentment towards others for possessing something they lack. This can manifest in belittling comments, attempts to undermine others' successes, or an unhealthy competitive attitude aimed at diminishing others' achievements. For instance, if a colleague receives a compliment or a promotion, and another person immediately tries to devalue that success with criticism or insinuations about favoritism, this indicates envy. Similarly, if a friend consistently makes negative remarks about other people's accomplishments or happy experiences, it may reveal a deeper issue of dissatisfaction and poor character. Envy is particularly destructive, as it not only affects the envious person, but also creates a toxic environment. It can lead to actions intended to harm others' well-being or reputation, clearly indicating malicious intent. To handle someone who displays envy, it is important not to provoke this behavior. Avoid boasting or excessively discussing your achievements around someone who tends to react negatively. Instead, try to approach the situation with empathy and offer support, emphasizing that you value their qualities and achievements without making comparisons. However, if the envy persists and starts to negatively impact your life or environment, it may be necessary to establish firmer boundaries. In extreme cases, distancing yourself from the person might be the best option to maintain your peace and well-being. Envy signals deep dissatisfaction and insecurity. Addressing it requires sensitivity and sometimes decisive actions to protect yourself from its harmful effects. Recognizing this sign helps you understand the social dynamics around you and allows you to take proactive steps to maintain healthy and positive relationships. Sign 10. Persistent negativity. A strong sign that you might be dealing with a toxic person is their constant negativity. This behavior is characterized by a consistently pessimistic attitude, where the person seldom sees the positive side of situations and often expects the worst outcomes. They may frequently complain, criticize, and discourage others without offering constructive solutions or support. For example, if you share your excitement about a new project with a colleague, and they only respond by listing all the reasons it won't work, this is a sign of persistent negativity. Similarly, if a friend always focuses on the negative aspects of their life and never seems satisfied or grateful for anything, it indicates a deeper issue. Such persistent negativity can be extremely draining for those around them, lowering morale, spreading discouragement, and making it difficult to maintain a positive outlook. People who exhibit this behavior often drive others away because most people do not want to be around someone who consistently brings down their mood. To deal with someone who is consistently negative, it is important to protect your own energy and emotional well-being. Set clear boundaries about what behaviors you will tolerate in your presence. For example, you might choose to change the subject or walk away if a conversation becomes excessively negative. Encouraging a more positive perspective can also help, but it is important to do this sensitively and non-confrontationally. Offering support to help them find a more positive outlook, such as highlighting the good things in their life or reminding them of their strengths and past successes, can be beneficial. However, if the negativity continues despite your efforts, it may be necessary to maintain a healthy emotional distance to preserve your well-being. If a person's persistent negativity starts to significantly affect your quality of life, seeking counseling or professional support can be beneficial for both you and the negative person, especially if this attitude stems from deeper issues that need professional intervention. Recognizing and understanding how to deal with persistent negativity is crucial for maintaining healthy and positive environments, both at work and in your personal life. Protecting yourself from negative influences and taking proactive steps to promote positivity can greatly improve the dynamics of your social interactions. Sign 11. Avoidance of responsibility. Another clear sign that you might be dealing with a toxic person is their consistent avoidance of responsibility. Individuals who refuse to take responsibility for their actions often blame others or external circumstances for their own mistakes and failures. This behavior is not only frustrating for those around them, but also indicative of a lack of maturity and integrity. For instance, if a co-worker misses a deadline and immediately blames communication failures or an excessive workload without acknowledging their own part in the issue, it shows a lack of responsibility. Similarly, if someone frequently engages in harmful behaviors in relationships and always justifies their actions by blaming their partner, it highlights a serious lack of self-awareness and responsibility. To deal with someone who avoids responsibility, it's important not to get entangled in their excuses. Maintain clear expectations and document agreements or discussions to avoid misunderstandings. When addressing their behavior, focus on the facts and the consequences of their actions. Encouraging open dialogue about mistakes and learning opportunities can help them understand the importance of taking responsibility. However, if the behavior persists, it may be necessary to set firm boundaries or even reconsider the relationship, whether professional or personal. Recognizing a lack of responsibility in someone you regularly interact with is crucial for understanding the dynamics of the relationship and protecting your own peace and productivity. Dealing with this issue assertively and consciously can help prevent many conflicts and misunderstandings, leading to a healthier and more accountable environment. Sign 12. Cruel humor. Cruel humor is a troubling sign that you might be dealing with a toxic person. When someone frequently makes jokes at others' expense, using sarcasm or disdain disguised as humor, it shows a willingness to hurt or belittle others for their own entertainment or to feel superior. For example, during a work meeting, if a colleague makes a joke ridiculing another team member for a mistake, it is not only disrespectful, but also an instance of cruel humor. Similarly, if a friend regularly makes sarcastic comments about your life choices or appearance under the guise of just kidding, it indicates a malicious intent. This behavior creates a hostile and uncomfortable environment, making it hard for people to relax or feel safe. Cruel humor often masks insecurities or a desire for control and domination, which can significantly damage interpersonal relationships. To address cruel humor, it is important to clearly communicate that these jokes are neither appropriate nor welcome. Expressing how this behavior affects you can sometimes help the person understand the impact of their words. If the behavior persists, setting boundaries or distancing yourself may be necessary to protect your self-esteem and emotional well-being. Recognizing and responding to cruel humor is crucial for maintaining a respectful and inclusive environment, whether at work, home, or any social setting. Encouraging humor that uplifts and unites rather than divides and diminishes is essential for building and maintaining healthy relationships. Sign 13. Dishonesty in relationships. Dishonesty in relationships is a clear indication that you might be dealing with a problematic person. This behavior can range from minor lies to significant betrayals, revealing a pattern of deceit that undermines the integrity of the relationship. When someone consistently chooses to be untruthful in their interactions, it shows a fundamental lack of respect for others' feelings and well-being. For instance, if someone frequently hides important information in a relationship, such as where they have been or who they have been with, it is a form of dishonesty. Similarly, if you discover that a friend has been talking about you behind your back and distorting facts to create a negative image of you, it indicates a lack of honesty and respect. This type of behavior not only causes pain and confusion, but also leads to persistent feelings of insecurity and distrust. Dealing with dishonesty in any relationship is challenging because building a solid foundation on lies and half-truths is nearly impossible. To confront dishonesty, approach the person directly and calmly discuss specific incidents of deceit you have observed. Explain how their behavior has affected your trust in the relationship and ask for clarity and transparency to establish whether there is a willingness to change. However, if dishonesty persists despite your efforts to address it, you might need to reconsider the viability of the relationship. In some cases, distancing yourself from someone who consistently chooses dishonesty may be the only way to protect your emotional well-being. Identifying and addressing dishonesty in relationships is crucial for maintaining your integrity and peace of mind. Cultivating relationships based on honesty and transparency is fundamental to creating an environment of mutual trust and respect. Sign 14. Verbal abuse. Verbal abuse is a clear indication that you might be dealing with a harmful person. This behavior includes shouting, insults, harsh criticism, and abusive language intended to intimidate, control, or emotionally harm someone. Verbal abuse can leave deep emotional scars, severely impacting the victim's self-esteem and mental well-being. For example, if during an argument someone consistently resorts to shouting or using hurtful words to dominate the discussion, it shows a lack of respect for healthy communication norms. This verbal aggression is often used to assert power or silence the other person, indicating a toxic relationship dynamic. Such behaviors are particularly harmful as they often occur in private settings, leaving the victim feeling isolated and unsupported. Verbal abuse can erode confidence and security, making it difficult for the victim to express their opinions or defend themselves. To address verbal abuse, it is crucial to remain calm and avoid responding in kind. Stabilizing the situation if possible is important. Setting clear boundaries and communicating that such behavior is unacceptable is essential. In many cases, seeking external support from friends, family, or professionals can provide the necessary assistance to deal with the situation effectively. If the verbal abuse persists, more drastic measures, such as limiting contact or completely ending the relationship, may be necessary. Protecting your mental and emotional health is paramount, and no one should tolerate being treated with disrespect or aggression. Recognizing and acting against verbal abuse is a crucial step in maintaining your dignity and personal safety. Sign 15. Enjoyment of others' pain. One of the most alarming signs that you might be dealing with a harmful person is their enjoyment of others' pain. This behavior, known as schadenfreude, is the pleasure derived from someone else's suffering or misfortune. Witnessing someone take satisfaction in another's adversity is deeply unsettling and reveals a profound lack of empathy and a tendency towards cruelty. For instance, if a colleague is fired or goes through a tough time, and another person in the office seems visibly pleased or makes mocking comments, it indicates a severe lack of moral sensitivity. This type of perverse joy is particularly concerning because it not only shows a disregard for others' feelings, but also suggests a willingness to benefit from or take pleasure in someone else's suffering. Such behavior can create an extremely toxic environment where people feel insecure and fearful, knowing their misfortune could be a cause for celebration for others. Additionally, a person who exhibits such behavior is often seen as untrustworthy, making it difficult to build trust and cooperation within groups or communities. To confront someone who enjoys others' pain, it is important to address the behavior directly and assertively. Expressing how such attitudes are unacceptable and harmful can help promote a culture of empathy and mutual support. In the workplace, it might be necessary to involve team leaders or human resources to ensure that such behaviors are appropriately addressed, fostering a safe and respectful environment for everyone. Recognizing someone who finds pleasure in others' pain is a warning sign that should not be ignored. This behavior indicates a potentially harmful person whose attitudes can significantly damage the emotional and social well-being of others. Protecting yourself and promoting an environment of compassion and respect are essential steps in dealing with this situation effectively. If this message has been helpful to you, please like and comment to help the algorithm recommend it to others who might need it. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos. Check out our other uploads for more content that might be useful to you. Have a great day.